Good morning. Good morning. This is Mr. Handy. Thank you for waiting for me because I'm new to the live. That's why I need to adjust from day one until now. Okay. Today I'm facing another problem because I'm also running a homeschool center online. Okay. I need to share my resources. Okay, together with the homeschool center, my center. Okay. So I use the resource together. Okay. So today I have some technical maintenance. Okay. So thank you for bear with me. Okay. It has been I scheduled it to become 9:10 today, but I also the technical support teams need longer time for the maintenance. That's why we are late today. Thank you for joining back again. This is Mr. Henley Clement, a live session for you for your year 9 science chapter 2, which is called the production in the flowering plant. The production in the flowering plant. Okay, this is the production of flowering plants. Okay, as usual, I'm using the book Same with You. Okay, I'm using 3 textbooks to get all together. Okay, and this is the chapter I want to share to you. Okay, pollination. Okay, the production of the flower involved in many steps. Number one is pollination. Number two will be fertilization. And then there will be the dispersal of seeds. Okay. So today we are focused on these 3. Okay, the rest of the topics, a small topic you need to read by yourself as usual. I suggest the student to be started with the textbook and then with some lecture, a class like this, and after that do some revision and practices. Okay, so today we have two main themes. Okay, number 1 is that insect pollinate, and the next will be the wind pollination. Okay, wind pollinated flower. Okay, I hope you can read my drawing. Okay, so this is insect pollinated flower. Okay, insect pollinated flower. So this is a nice flower. Can you see this pink color? I color it a pink. Okay. So this pink color is the petals. As you can know that the petal is always black color. Black color is to attract the insects to come near to the flower, and it is always scented. That's why we say, oh, the flower is so smelly, so nice, it's scented. Okay, and number 3, okay, there's a nectar here. Nectar. Okay, nectar. That's color in orange color. There's nectar. Okay, at the base of the petals. Okay, and the whole thing we call it the corolla. The next we will be going to learn about the sepals. Sepal is a green part, which is very hard one. Okay, beneath the flower, this gives the support and protection to the flower, to the bud. This is the flower bud, the cover of the flower. This is green protection. And then this is stalk. I forget about the stalk. This is support stalk. Okay. There were two main parts, which is the one part is called stamen, and the other part is called the capels. Capel. Okay, capel is a female part. Okay, you may wondering, within one flower, there is the male part and together with the female part. Okay, male part as a whole, we call it the stamen. Capels for the female part. And then capel, usually we will need to study 3 different parts. And then for the male part, we need to study in 2. Okay. Number 1 is called anther. Anther actually has, can you see, 4 pollen sacs. Pollen sacs means what? Okay. This is a bag. This is a bag. Then we have 4 sacs. Okay. And then we have a lot of pollen inside. Okay, so we have this. Okay, so this pollen, we call it the male sex cell or male gametes. These are called male sex cells. Okay, male sex cells. Okay, and it was supported by the long stalk called filament. Filament. Okay, filament. Okay, good morning. This is Mr. Clement, Mr. Henry Clement. Okay, so today we are sharing about the production of flowering plants. Okay, thank you for following us. Today we are facing some technical problems. Okay, so this chapter I will try to make it into 3 different parts, which is the pollination, fertilization, and dispersal of seeds. Okay, so today we are starting with the insect pollinated flower and the wind pollinated flower. Okay, this is the 2 main section. Okay, in this chapter. Okay, so this is a flower. Okay, this is also a flower, but this flower is like our normal flower that we know that with the bright color. This is, you may see this flower with the green petals. Okay, so these are 2 main different. I will show you in detail later. Okay, so for insect pollinated flower, this is petal. Petal also we call it a corolla. Okay, it is usually bright color and scented to attract the insects. For example, bee and butterflies, and also actually not only insect. There's a bat also. Okay, so and also some birds. Okay, and there's a nectar at the beneath of from the gland at the base of the petal near the stalk. Okay, so this is the nectar, which is a sugary solution. It's a food for some of the insects. Okay, and it's about 85% of the insect pollinated flower is pollinated by the bees. Okay, and we need to come to the sepals. This is a green protection part of the flower, and later you can see this green color. Okay, these are the 2 parts. This is the male part and this is the female part. Okay, the male part is called the stamen. Okay, male parts. Okay, and the female part is called carpels. And then we have anther and filament for the male, and then we have stigma, star, and ovary. We have 3 here, we have 2 here, and this is the thing we need to understand very well. The anther is the place where you have the four pollen sacs with pollen, which is the male gamete, the male sex cell. Okay, this is, I enlarge it for you. This is just like a 4 bags, contain many dots of the male sex cells. Okay, it's all here. Okay, this was supported by the long filament. Okay, long stalk called filament. Okay, sometimes the stalk, even though I saw it, I write here is long, but sometimes it may be very short, so that the insect are forced to go inside and brush it. Okay, and then we'll transfer the pollen to the stigma. Okay, what is a stigma? Stigma is the platform which accept the pollen. Okay, this is the female part. Okay, so can you imagine a flower? You have a male part and a female part within one flower. Okay, under the stigma, this platform, okay, there will be a very narrow thing which is called a star. This is hold the stigma. Okay, and this swollen thing is called ovary. Ovary is hollow chamber that contain ovule. Ovule means what? Ovule means a future seed. Okay, after fertilization, this ovule will become the seeds and the ovary will become the fruits. Okay, things to know that pollen always in large amount, so that the insect can easily brush and spread through. Okay, and this flower, this is a green flower. This flower is green, can you see? Okay, and we have also the ovary, and above that ovary, over there is the stigma. Yeah, this is stigma, but can you see the stigma is different? Yes, this stigma, you see, it's look like feathery. Okay, and then this is the anther. This anther had large amount of pollen on it. Okay, large amount of pollen. So the stigma have readily to catch the pollen, and this large amount of the pollen, when the wind flow, okay, the wind can always bring the pollen to the stigma, okay, the anther, okay. So the pollen can be swayed away outside by airflow, okay. This filament is slightly longer than that. Usually the filament will be outside of the petal so that the wind can easily carry the pollen away, okay. We can compare that the petal here is green color, whereas this is bright color, okay, and this center, this is not, because this need to attract a lot of insects, whereas this one no need to attract the wind, okay. The wind will automatically, okay, blow the pollen from the anther to the stigma, okay. There is no nectar or center, okay. This is so-called the pollinator flower, okay. And then we need to look at the pollen. Pollen of this flower, this nice flower, it looks like this, a lot of spike one. Okay. So this spiky will attach to the flower, insect and carry away, whereas this one, for this, okay, for this is very smooth one, okay. Okay. And as compared to this one, this is small and light. This is heavy but spiky, so they can hook to the body of the insect. Okay, come. We go to the next one. Okay. After that, we learn about pollination, then we need to go to the fertilization. Fertilization. Okay, before fertilization, we need to know about some terms which is called cell pollination. This is called cell pollination. Self-pollination. Both these two are cross pollination. Okay, cross pollination. Okay, self pollination means that the pollen from the plant itself go to the stigma of the same plant. Okay, as a result of this, the offspring will be identical, okay, to the mother, to the parents. However, there are some way to prevent self-pollination, which is sometimes this anther, the pollen is already matured, but this ovary and stigma is not yet developed. That means that even though the pollen come to here, but this is not developed. Another thing is this is developed to accept other plants, but the anther is still not developed. Okay, so then the case will become the cross-pollinated. Okay, for example, this anther is well developed and contain a lot of the pollen, and then this is still young. So even though the pollen comes to here, okay, come to here, it still cannot fertilize, and the pollen need to go to the another plant and go to the matured and well-developed sepals and fall through the stigma and go to the ovary and combine, fuse with the ovule. So the cross-pollination happen this way. Okay, and sometimes there will be a so-called self-sterilizer. There will be a layer to cover the stigma. So, for example, some orchid plants, you need to lift out the cover so that the pollen can go in. Okay, not only this type of plants, you have some plants, okay, only have female part and some plant only have male parts. Okay, it happens to me to grow some fruit trees. Okay, the tree has produced a lot of flower, but just bear no fruit. That after some times, my friend told me that for certain fruit trees, a wild fruit tree, okay, the fruit tree itself is only about male and or females. Okay, so if your plant is male only, okay, so you will produce a lot of pollen and only donate the pollen to the neighboring plant, which is contain the female part. So this one won't bear any fruit. Okay, the fruit will be on this plant. Okay, so after the after the pollen landed here, okay, on the stigma. This is stigma. Okay, so the journey begins. So you need to go down, go down, go down, go down, and then go in. This is small hole. You need to go in here. This hole has a name. This hole has a name. The name is micropore. Sorry, there's a C here. Okay. So the whole process, after going in, okay, this pollen will end up here with the nucleus, okay. So they'll fuse together. Fuse means that they combine. They combine together. They will be fused here, fuse, or we can call fertilize, fertilize, fertilize here to produce a new, okay, to produce a new structure. We call it a zygote. Zygote is the, in other words, is the fuse structure, new structure. They combine with them, we call it a zygote. Okay, and this zygote will develop, okay, and divide many times to become actually look like a Okay, welcome back. Okay. Okay, welcome back. Okay. When it comes to the fertilization, so the pollen, once again, okay, either is from self-pollination or cross-pollination, is either by the insect or by the wind or by any animal like birds or bats. Okay. This pollen will landed at the stigma. This is the place. This is the whole thing. We call it the sepals. Okay. This is stigma. This is small place we call it star, and this is ovary. Okay. So we'll go through the small tube. This tube, okay, pollen tube to go inside and combine with the ovule. Okay. So this is a small open. Okay. If I draw another picture for you, this will be like small door for the thing to enter. Okay, so this is called the micropyle. Okay, so when the pollen go inside and combine, in normal way we call combine, but inside we call it fuse or fertilize. It will produce a new cell, okay, which is called the zygote. Okay, zygote will need to divide. That means they duplicate their self. Okay, divide their cell to become a larger structure, which is called the embryo. Okay, embryo. Okay, so bear in mind, okay, the seed, this is seeds, this is the seeds, okay, and this is the pollen, okay. So we have many seeds. All these seeds will become, all these ovule will become the seeds, okay, and the whole fruit is from this ovule. Okay, this is fruit. Fruit is on the whole ovary, okay, and this is ovule for the seed. Okay, this is Mr. Handy Clement here. Okay, year 9, week 3 science. Okay, the production of flower. All right, we are now talking about fertilization. So this is under the topic of the fertilization. Okay. Next, we are going to learn about the dispersion. Okay. From the beginning, I told you that I will split this into 3. Number 1 is called the pollination. How the pollen get to the ovule, maybe through insects or wind or some animals. And then these two cells, gamete, sex cells need to fuse together. Okay. The process is called the fertilization. And later the ovary will develop into a fruit, whereas the ovule will become the seeds of the fruit. Okay, now is the time, okay, for the process to complete the whole reproduction system. The seeds need to disperse from the mother tree because can you see the environment? Okay, if the tree, can you see this is a big tree? This is a tree. And then this is the mother tree. Okay. This is the mother tree. Okay, if the seeds falls here. Okay, this is the shade. This is the sun. Can you see the sun here? So the sun. Okay, so this will be the shadow where the place without sun. Okay, if the seeds fall nearby to the mother, so this is always dark in dark. Can you see? So definitely this baby tree cannot live. Okay, so because the sunlight is blocked by the mother itself. Okay, so to solve this problem, these seeds must be carried away in some way. For example, carry to other place, which is good, which is the sunlight and water is available so that it can develop into a small baby tree. Okay, this is the whole idea of dispersal of the seed. Okay, let's come back. I try to summarize it into 8 ways of the dispersion. Okay, so number one is the seed must be in large amount. This is the key point you need to remember. Okay, large amount. This is to increase the chance, the possibility of the seeds develop into a new tree. Okay, this is the dragon fruit I draw for you. Can you see the dragon fruit? The dragon fruit will always have many seeds, just like sesame in the fruit. Okay, so this seed is considered a small seed. Later I will show you what is a small seed and a large seed. Okay. Another one will be the Brazil nut and some nuts. Okay, this nut will be carried away by squirrel, mice, or crickets. Okay, then they will try to bury it for the winter, to save the food for winter. But sometimes they are so forgetful, they forget where they actually store all the seeds. And this seeds, after the winter, when the spring comes, these seeds will develop into a new tree. Okay, the process we will learn this process later, which is called germination. Germination. Okay, so number three, there's a special structure of this seeds, just like the pollen. Okay, for the pollen, which is for the insect pollinated, as I showed just now, the pollen for the insect pollinated flower, you always have the hook one. Okay, you have the hook so that it can hook to the, for example, the cat or the fur to carry away. Okay, and this rabbit, maybe the rabbit can carry away, okay, the seed. Okay, so another one. Okay, but this is large. Usually this is large and heavy as compared to the wind pollinated. The wind pollinated is different. Okay, it's so small and light and easy. When the wind comes, then the seeds will go follow the the wind and go to other place. Let's come back. So for the hook, okay, the example are the goose grass and the burdock. Okay, the next, okay, for some fruit, just like the watermelon, brilliant, rambutan, mango. Okay, this fruit we call it a scarlet fruit. Okay, which is a juicy fruit. Okay, the flesh is very juicy, and however the seeds is resist to the digestive system. Okay, the body cannot digest the seeds, and so that the seeds will come up together with the feces. Okay, so there are some of the famous coffee bean. Okay, it was eaten by an animal, and then the seeds come out. They will clean the seeds from here. Okay, and because this seed is being fermented already, so will produce a special scent and this will make the coffee so special. Okay, for the small seeds, just like the coffee bean or the dragon fruit, okay, they'll come out through the feces. Whereas the last one, just like apricot, okay, you cannot eat, no, you cannot eat the apricot because see, this is the fruit. And the seed is so big, see, the seed is so big and sharp. Okay, a peach or anything, okay, so these seeds, okay, is being thrown away by the insect, by the animals, okay. One other things, okay, if you have experience in planting trees, fruit trees, you know that the animals are very good in finding the fruit in yellow color or orange color, okay, so they can recognize in red color the fruit very well. So this bright color will help the dispersion of the seeds by the animals. The animal will eat and carry away this papaya, okay, and the seeds, and so that to bring to other place for the germination. The next, for some dandelion, okay, okay, we have a long hair, okay, you can flow by the air, by the wind, and landed on the place where the new plant want to stay, okay. Number 7 will be the wing. Some seeds have the wing look like this, okay. Okay, you can look for internet and to find this type of the tree. This is interesting, okay. This is interesting, okay. And these you will become like just like how to say a small wing, so that the plant can flow away from the fly away from the mother plants, okay, can go to very far, okay? So this is, we call it a winged seed, in other words, we call it winged seed, winged seeds. The last one will be the pod, which is they will explode, okay, once the seed become matured, okay, and this will split and shoot away, okay. For example, the peas, and also for ladyfingers. For ladyfinger also, when the seed is well developed, okay, it will split out and the seed inside will be spread away from the mother plant, okay. This is the idea for today's class, okay. I'm using also this IGCSE complete biology for reference, okay. Hope you enjoy this class today, and don't forget to subscribe us and like us to motivate us, okay. Thank you for your watching. Today we face some technical problem, okay, bear with me, we are new to this platform. Thank you for joining, and later I think in 10 minutes we are having our mathematics session. Thank you very much. Thank you.